Yo, everyone! Posity here, back in action for more Old Bailey attraction. That's right! We're back at it again with the Great Ace Attorney 2, Resolve, as we try to get our defendant, our young Japanese friend, to finally not have to face, shall we say, charges? Yeah, that's it. Hopefully not get deported to another country and all this and that. Suffice to say, it's a lot. Once again. The 23rd of February, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. This is it then, Mr. Naruto. Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. The miserable curse that has been plaguing Mr. Natsume. To everything. And in my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you. I always appreciate your help, Mrs. Sato. Suffering! Sasuke! Selfishly sidelined! Ah! Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume. Good morning! Good morning! Locomotive said it, Mr. Naruto Esquire. Listen to you two, chatting away happily as if the main player of today's trial isn't here. Why would you do that? Why? Oh, dear. You didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut up so tightly, you were meditating, letting inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you. I was waiting. What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I've attained spiritual enlightenment. The path that led to you, see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Was it like... That's the sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. I missed the signs, I'm afraid. Somehow, you'll have to forgive me. Well, you must have talked on your path leading to your death, Mr. Natsume. That was just an example! Oh yes, there it is. Inner calm. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. I was sure you would abandon me and return to our beautiful, long-lost homeland. We're not even been in Great Britain a week yet. Yes, well, anyway, I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. I've actually reached an important decision myself. Oh, what sort of decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. Alright. It would seem Mr. Shlums isn't coming today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits. A very clear message, I think. He's overslept again. The great detective, my arch nemesis. How long may he stay away? You ask me. Defendant and legal representative. Trial's about to begin. Make your way to the courtroom immediately. Today, once again, face the Reaper. When the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. I don't believe in the legend anymore. I believe in Sasaki-san's curse. The truth is hidden here somewhere. I won't let it escape me. I have to keep believing in my client. I keep fighting to the very end. That's all. The 23rd of February, 9:40 a.m., the Old Bailey, courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. Yes, the defense is ready. Very good. And now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury, chosen by a lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? Absolutely. Justice will be done. You mark my words. I feel obligated to say I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat is sitting just right. Oh, well, I wonder if you could adjust my hat for me. And please, be as ruthless as you like. Thieves deserve to die if you ask me. Especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for a man at all. Look, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again now. I don't have time for this. I got my own problems. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here, and lead his flock to the righteous verdict again today. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, what can you tell us? The prosecution's report, please, for the court. In relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday, regarding the defendant's tea. He does have the results. Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the black god in the dock. Pray, allow me a moment to savor a liquid of a more sanguine hue. In fact, I defer to the good detective for the report. As to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid with a little depression on top of it. Yes, that's the tea! That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night. All the brains at the yard analyzed it, and yes, you're right, it was tea. There wasn't a trace of cyanide or any other toxic substance in it. No poison at all? In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him to the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What a revelation. As I suspected. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Sasaki. My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. A typical Nipponese reaction. What? Yes, it's true. No poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap at the window ledge. But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames and conclude that the water in the ocean isn't salty? My word! The water in the ocean is extremely salty, Consul. Exactly. Until unfit for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the night in question, as the court has already heard. Bitter was the precise word for the lips Mr. William Shamspeare, whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's request. Mr. Shamspeare? Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theoretical friend. Bailiff, show Mr. Shamspeare to the stand. Mr. William Shamspeare, the victim of this despicable crime. Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspear, and did have a bellyful of the foul liquid, given in mine innocence. Yes, but it was revealed in yesterday's proceedings that the witness is not as innocent as we had perhaps first been led to believe. By using bottles of soap such as this, he has been stealing gas from the supply company. Yes. One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspear, did have a room full of the sweet fuel giveth. That's right, villagers, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I haven't forgotten. He pulled that ice coin's a tidy secret, didn't you? You should have owned up sooner. Arrest him, I say! Arrest him at once! Let him feel the sting in my tail. Oh yeah, B. Oh, indeed. By death of vile and cowardly means have I plotted to further mine own ends, I confess. Thou wouldst not pardon my sins, of that I am sure. If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here? Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death be well deserved. But would that be still a greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of further east than Veron did contrive to poison me.
Objection!
But there was no poison in the tea found in your room. The police had attested to that. What the defense would assert is an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shamspear? Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak. Very well, let the witness testify to explain this inconsistency. Now the court why is that the poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea. The tea inconsistency. The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning distraction in our debate, ne'er did a drop of his own drink pass his lips. When we had parted by and by, I did use the tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. Thus, 'tis no surprise that poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap. The poison was slit into the cup after the tea had been poured. The normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Right, otherwise it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. But no poison bottle was found at the scene. Because, quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his room. The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. I knew that. By now, it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two of cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accuser's hands. Says, madams, 'tis true that I, Shamspear, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no cause. I have naught to lose. Well, Do declare. Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Wales? The tea inconsistency. Yes, I understand. Root in the pot. Okay, we need to press this. Because I already have an inkling what's going on here. You're saying that you saw the moment when the poison was added to your tea? You have witnessed the act and then drank the tea. Thou dost describe the action of a fool. Quite so, quite so. But no one likes going thirsty, do they? Sooner would I die quenched than parched. Would I have the choice? Actually, on the night in question, the water main was frozen, I believe, wasn't it? Were it not for the tea, in sooth, I would sooner have died frozen than quenched or parched. Right. No ice coins means no heat. The witness had more than one brush with death on the night in question, it would seem. Remind the court, Mr. Shamspeare, as to whether the accused drank any of the tea which he brought with him. With the greatest of pleasure, my liege. Did a drop of his own drink pass his lips? What do you mean by that? He says he drinks it hot, right? But the teacup, Mr. Natsume, the drink from was found completely empty at the scene. And let's not forget the defendant's maxim, drink tea while it's hot. I did gulp from the poisoned cup that night, and in mine agony did I writhe uncontrolled. In fits of pain I did knock the fellow's cup, and its contents spilled, as blood from a gaping wound, methinks. No, certainly, 'twas after I had made the coins of ice from his tea. An upset cup was found on a table, but the victim was slumped over. There's no contradiction here. It's true, there was no tea left in either cup that we found at the scene. But still, something about this statement is troubling me. Yes, of course! I know what it is! It's Mr. Natsume's wise drink tea while it's hot maxim, isn't it? No, I'm not sure that's it. Thank you, witness. Now reiterate for the court what it is that occupied you after the guests had left, before you drink your tea. I did use the tea, that's not it. It's not that. Did a drop of his own drink pass his lips? So, I need to look at this real quick to see what exactly it says. There's no tea ring in the side of Mr. Natsume's cup. Yeah, pretty much that.
Objection!
You claim that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea on the night in question. But that's impossible. How? Oh, Felix, what is this? Ye darky clad fiend. The two teacups from the scene, one used by the victim and the other by the defendant, have a clear difference between them. One that represents incontrovertible evidence. Incontrovertible? What difference? Look at the insides of the cups. Just here, there's a clear visible ring. Yes, a tea ring. Commonplace enough. Indeed. Such stains occur all too readily when one leaves tea in the cup for a while. And yet, Mr. Natsume's cup has no such ring. Good lord, alright! It's completely clean! And pray thee, sir, what make thouest of it? Exactly what Mr. Natsume told the court yesterday. The Japanese saying he quoted. Drink tea while it's hot. That's right, yes. The jittery Mr. Natsume was true to his usual self that night and drank his tea in no time. If, as you claim in your testimony, you didn't touch a drop of his tea, a ring would have developed on the inside of his cup as well, after the several hours of the tea was left standing. But, in short, Mr. Shamspear, you clearly lied to the court. Get thee to the memory!
Objection!
As a rule, I fill my hollow chalice up to 7 times during any one trial. You might want to keep that information to yourself. Yet on occasion, Tempid distracts me and I pour all times that I intend until the bottle is dry. Drinking habits are fascinating, but irrelevant. On the contrary, they illustrate the fickleness of human memory. To William Shamspear. Yes, my liege. Though you previously stated that you made the coins of ice from the leftover tea in the accuser's cup, could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Could it be that? Yes. Perhaps there was some tea remaining in the small teapot left at the scene. A fact that had vanished from your memory until now. Faith, my liege, thou art a magician. Oh, verily, 'tis as though thou hast seen with thy own eyes that night. What? Forsooth, I was mistaken. I did plan to use tea for the Japanese fellow's cup, but lo, when I look, 'twas empty. And thus did I use the dregs that festered in the teapot, as my liege did suggest.
Objection!
And you've just suddenly remembered now that you made a mistake before? And we were supposed to believe that?
Objection!
People's memories are imperfect, my learned friend, which is why we rely on evidence instead. But in any case, it makes no difference. The victim's most recent testimony tells us 2 things of note. Firstly, that the poison was put into the victim's teacup only. And secondly, that the spoilt cup was not the source of the insipid ice coins that had been bewitched this court. Prosecution makes a fine summary of the facts. Furthermore, that testimony remains valid, in full support of the established facts. In other words, the inconsistency claimed by the defense simply does not exist. No! What does that mean then? I do declare it means there's no issue with the gas thief's testimony. Apart from the bit of thieving gas, obviously. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear, after I did dine on Grubb's grubbery alehouse that night, not to pass my lips but the black tea given me by the Japanese, whose back be stooped as low as death. What did you dine, sir? Why, I did partake of my favorites. A broth as wouldst be called soup, a leaf as wouldst be called salad. As insatiable menu as the establishment where it was served. And your guards would give us some flots to make us men. Willingly would I suffer what punishment 'tis, seen fit to serve a wicked thief of gas. But I pray ye wise, noble fellows, ne'er forget the simple truth. That be one thing, and this be another. Jerizal, your humble servant, Shamspear, doth entreat you. Punish the Japanese fellow for his sins. My lord! If I may speak, my lord. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I believe we may have been duped by the rotten defense lawyer. By me? I do declare you may be right. We all know the Weef there was making coins of ice to keep himself warm. But this loyal lad says he's stealing gas. He deserves a dose of poison, eh? He's been letting up us the garden path. That's what he's doing. I really never said anything like that. What we just said for the victim there was opened our eyes again. We've reached a decision this time, and we won't be swayed from it. The court acknowledges the position of the jury foreman, and will duly hear the jury's findings. What? No! You can't yet? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you'll state your decisions now.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Ah, heck. Here we go again. I hereby declare the jury to be on one accord. Oh, happy day! How is this happening? My lord, the defense asserts its right to carry out a summation examination. Very well, the court upholds the defense's right. Typical. My learned friend is unable to accept the obvious truth. The trial will therefore enter a second summation examination immediately. Thus, the court calls upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime of which he is charged. Oh dear. Jurors' contentions. A man of logic, me, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. I do agree the gas is far too expensive. I understand why the man would want to avoid paying. The stuff explodes and it could poison you. It's absolutely lethal. Gas doesn't come for free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes. Truth be told, the tea my wife says for me is a little sketchy at times. If nothing else passed the victim's lip that night, there's no other explanation, is there? Oh? I do feel that perhaps personal opinion about gas and its supply has influenced decisions somewhat. But never mind. No, really shouldn't mind. The truth is, our counter-argument wasn't as unsoluble as we'd hoped. And Mr. Shamspear was poisoned. There could be no doubt about that. And how are we supposed to turn this around? I think we need to establish the method by which Mr. Shamspear was actually poisoned. Our only hope is to demonstrate that to the court incontrovertibly. But that's surely almost impossible at this stage. If we don't manage it, though, Mr. Natsume will be found guilty. No delays, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. Here we go again. The defendant's defense's rebuttal. So I don't think it's this one. I do, however, think it's this one. What? Stuff explosive could poison you. It could poison you? Huh? Let's press this. Can we please talk about the poison rather than the gas? Do you think, sir? Well, if you like. I mean, to be honest, I take poison over gas every time. You take poison? What I mean is, poison can only poison you. It doesn't explode, does it? Goodness me! What are you talking about? Set him straight, please, lawyer man. Well, it's only true that poison isn't prone to exploding. But I think you'll find poison also can't light or heat up a room. Ah! You're right. I haven't considered that at all. Young lawyer man? Yes? You have a good head on your shoulders. We could use someone like you as the company's legal representative. Oh? Look at that! Those are some fuck me eyes. It's like, hey, yo, what up? Call me? Winky face? Well, I wasn't expecting to pick up more business in the middle of a trial, that's for sure. Anyway, the point is, I haven't had the best experience with gas companies in the past. Okay, let's continue on with this one then.
Hold it!
Gas is contention here. Can we please refrain from all this talk of gas? There's an all-out attack underway here, in case you haven't noticed, against my company's gas. And I'm supposed to sit here and take it, am I? I don't think so. She's really buzzing now. Well, I've heard about our wonderful fuelers, explosions, and poisonings. What about electricity, hmm? What about getting electrocuted? What about that? A little explosion here and there's nothing in comparison. Any explosion could hardly be described as nothing, madam. Nevertheless, the death of your gas is deplorable. My point exactly. But the gas thieves aren't even the worst of our enemies. They have far more devious, reprobates to contend with on a daily basis, you know. More devious? Who, madam? Who, madam? Other gas companies, of course. Other gas companies? Not quite what I was expecting. We generate gas we deliver to our customers fair and square. Indeed. Nobody is questioning that, madam. Altmont is an exemplary gas company. But there are others, unscrupulous gas companies here in London that don't even have any gas at all. What? But if they don't have any gas, how do they go around selling it to people? You wouldn't think it possible, would you? But they still are gas, you see, and sell that. They steal your gas? How on earth is such a thing possible? Gas companies like ours deliver gas to people's homes via a network of pipes. But these devious reprobates secretly disconnect our pipes and divert our gas into their own rotten pipes. Then they make a contract with the households supplied by those pipes, and take money from the precious gas that's rightfully ours, not even us knowing. They're diverting gas in their own pipes illegally? What a brazen form of theft. We visit customers' houses to collect the money from their meters. We always have to check whether or not one of these devious companies has been up to its tricks. Oh? Look around. Pursue.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, juror number 3? Oh, golly, you mean me? I'm terribly sorry. I was just thinking to myself. I did catch him off guard there. Thinking about what the lady next to you was saying, correct? Well, yes. I just got a little riled up about it recently, you see. Go on. An ultimate gas worker visited my house the other day to investigate the pipework. We need to ask for your cooperation while we carry out a secret check of your property, sir, the fellow said. So I let him in. And did you know what he did? Afraid I have no idea. Please tell us. He proceeded to take one of my lights off the wall. Then he grabbed the exposed mouth of the pipe and started blowing into it. What do you think you're doing, young man? Giving away company secrets there. Oh, please, everybody knows. But it was very nearly the death of me, I could tell you. What do you mean? I'll explain if you don't mind. As I said before, these unscrupulous other gas companies connect their customers to our pipe network. Yes, but how does blowing into the pipes come into it? Obviously, there's a gas in the pipes, fairly low pressure. By blowing air through the pipe, you can make the pressure drop temporarily. And if you do that, any lights connected to the same pipe will flicker for a moment. Ah, I see. In other words, if upon blowing into a pipe the lights of the adjacent property that has no contract with your company flicker, you can know that these devious scoundrels have been meddling with the pipes. Exactly, my lord. That's it in a nutshell. The reason why we have teams of workers going around neighborhoods to investigate which lights flicker. Trouble is, that particular worker who came to my house didn't know the strength of his own breath. He blew down the pipe with all his might, and you could guess what happened, can't you? Well, if he blew hard, then... Wait, you mean... That's right. The lights didn't just flicker, they went out, along with the stove. Gas started pouring into the house. What a disaster! The gas supply must have been interrupted briefly. The man blew too hard, so the flames went out. Afraid I yelled at the fellow. Are you trying to kill us all? I said. But by disconnecting a lamp and blowing into the exposed gas pipe, it's possible to extinguish flames. It's possible to extinguish lamps and stoves connected to the same network of pipes. And when the gas starts flowing again, it just silently seeps into the room? Mr. Naruto, I think perhaps... Yes, it's almost certainly the clue that we've been hoping for. Juror number 3, the defense requests that you amend your statement to include that information. Oh, well, if you like, I don't mind. Well, I do! That's our company's secret method to identifying the rogues. Like I said, madam, widely known already. Very well, juror number 3, you'll amend your statement accordingly. Yes, my lord, although I'm not really sure what the point of it all is. Blown too hard into a gas pipe, you extinguish everything in the house, and then you're in for real trouble. Okay. Well, it looks like we have something to go along with the whole situation. And I think that means we got our summation examination entered. But till then, though, thank you for watching. Sayonara. Bye-bye.